Hey there, welcome to the deep dive. You know how it is you're trying to keep up with cloud tech, maybe especially Google Cloud Platform,
hmm
and then boom, an event like Google Cloud Next happens, and there's just this flood of new stuff. It can feel, well, a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, totally. Like trying to drink from a fire hose sometimes.
Yeah.
That's kind of why we're here, right? To sort of act as your filter for the big news from next
Mhm.
2025.
Exactly.
We've looked through all the announcements, especially the recent Nuggets blog post, trying to pull out the really key things,
Yeah.
stuff that matters if you're new to GCP or, using it regularly.
Right. This is your shortcut. Our mission, if you will, is to cut through all that noise and really focus on what these updates mean practically for you.
Yep. How might this actually change the way you work in the cloud? That's the goal. We don't want to get totally bogged down in every single tiny detail.
For sure. And our main source here is that Google Cloud Platform Technology Nuggets April 115, 2025 edition. Super timely.
And within that, yeah, things like Thomas Kurian's welcome post, that huge 229 things recap blog,
Mm-hmm.
that was a lot.
Ah, yeah, 229 things.
And we'll definitely touch on some stuff from the developer keynote highlights too. Lots of good stuff there.
And hey, just a reminder, if anything we talk about really grabs you, all the Cloud Next sessions are up online on demand, so you can always go deeper.
Good point. Okay, so where do we start? AI and machine learning seems like the obvious place, right? Huge focus there.
Definitely. Let's dive into Vertex AI first. That's Google Cloud's big ML platform.
Right. So they announced a few key things around building what they call intelligent agents. First up is the Agent Development Kit, the ADK.
EDK.
And what's interesting is it's open source, but it's built on tech that already powers things like Google Agent Space.
Which we'll get to.
Yeah, and even the Google Customer Engagement Suite. So it's
Yeah.
not like brand new from scratch. It's a foundation.
Okay, so it leverages existing proven tech. Makes sense. And there was an agent engine too. What's that piece?
Think of Agent Engine as the place where you actually run the agents you build with the ADK. It's fully managed inside Vertex AI.
Oh,
So it handles all the deployment stuff, testing releases, making sure it's reliable, scalable globally, all that backend stuff. The
yeah.
idea is you focus on the agent's smarts, not the plumbing.
That sounds like it could really speed things up, getting these AI helpers out there faster. And what about this agent-to-agent protocol? That sounds potentially huge.
It could be, yeah. It's basically aiming to be a common language for different AI agents to talk to each other.
Like agents built by different people or different
Oh.
companies even.
Exactly. Imagine agents built using different tools, maybe even from totally different vendors, being able to cooperate on tasks, like
Yeah.
passing information back and forth seamlessly.
Wow, like different apps sharing data, but for AI agents, that could unlock some really complex stuff.
For sure. Breaking down silos. And it wasn't just about the agent frameworks, right? They also talked about grounding AI with location data.
Yeah, Google Maps data specifically.
Right. So Vertex AI can now use Maps data to make its responses more relevant. Think location-aware apps.
Like a smarter travel assistant or maybe
Yeah.
logistics.
Or recommendations based on where you actually are. Adds that real-world context.
Yeah.
Imagine an app predicting traffic delays using AI and real-time map data. Pretty cool.
Definitely adds a layer. Okay, you mentioned Google Agent Space earlier. That sounded more internal for employees.
That's the idea. Agent Space is meant to help employees tap into their company's internal systems and knowledge using AI, like a Google search, but for all your internal stuff,
Okay.
and letting them use AI agents for tasks like planning research across internal docs, generating reports, maybe even kicking off automated actions, all using natural language.
Like an AI assistant that knows your company inside out. What's new there? You mentioned some features.
Yeah, a few things, though they're under an allow list for now, so rolling out gradually. One thing is accessing agent space search right from the Chrome search bar. Super convenient.
Oh, nice.
And they're making it easier for non-coders to use pre-built helper agents or even build simple ones themselves.
Helper agents, what kind of things can they do?
Well, examples they gave were things like deep research on internal topics, summarizing findings, or helping teams brainstorm by analyzing existing data.
Right. Automating those time-consuming tasks.
Exactly. And they also mentioned agent-based search is coming to Google Distributed Cloud, GDC. That's important for companies with specific data location needs.
Gotcha. Okay, moving beyond agents specifically, Vertex AI is really becoming this like hub for generative media, isn't it?
Totally. Video, images, audio, and now music too. They added Lyria, which is Google's text-to-music model.
Text to music.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just describe the music you want, and it generates it, all within Vertex AI when
Yeah.
you might already be doing image gen or text analysis.
That's pretty wild. And they improved the existing stuff too, right? Like video and audio.
Yep, VO2, the video model, got better editing and camera controls for more fine-tuning. And Chirp 3, the speech model, added instant custom voice, creative voice from a short sample, and transcription with diarization, which can tell different speakers apart in audio.
Speaker diarization, useful. And images.
Imagen 3 got better image quality and improved in-painting. That's like filling in or changing parts of an image smoothly.
So really a full suite of generative tools. And of course, the Gemini models, can't forget those updates there.
Absolutely. Gemini 2.5 Pro is already known for being top tier, right? Now they've added Gemini 2.5 Flash.
Flash, what's the focus there?
Speed and cost. Lower latency, more cost effective. So great for applications where, response time and budget really matter.
Makes sense. Different tools for different needs.
And you can get these 2.5 models through Vertex AI for bigger deployments or Google AI Studio if you're more experimenting or prototyping.
Okay, quite a tour of AML. Let's switch gears. Application development. Firebase Studio seemed like a big announcement.
It did, yeah. It's in preview now.
Hmm.
They're pitching it as this end-to-end platform to speed up the whole app lifecycle.
End to end. What does that mean in practice?
Think of it like a cloud-based IDE, but supercharged with Gemini AI. It's got these built-in code assist agents.
AI agents for coding, like what?
Well, a testing agent helps write and run tests. A documentation agent generates docs from your code. Even a migration agent to help move or upgrade Firebase projects.
Wow, AI helping with all those chores.
Pretty much. And it's not just Studio. Other Firebase services got upgrades too. So if you're a Firebase user, definitely worth checking out what's new.
Sounds like they're really leaning into AI to streamline development. What about beyond Firebase, just general app dev lifecycle stuff?
Yeah, a big theme was better visibility and integration. One key thing is this new application-centric view of your cloud resources.
Application-centric.
Yeah, instead of just a list of VMs and databases, you can see everything grouped by the application. It supports the services, workloads, resources all together.
That makes way more sense for monitoring and troubleshooting, right? See the whole picture for one app.
Exactly. Much easier to see what's going on. And they also expanded Cloud Assist and Code Assist.
More AI help.
Yep. Cloud Assist got integrations like the Application Design Center AI, suggesting best practices as you design. Cloud Investigations uses AI to analyze errors automatically. And Cost Optimizations finds ways to save money across your apps.
Finding the root cause of errors automatically sounds amazing.
Could save a lot of time. And on the Code Assist side, more tools from Google and partners to help you right inside your code editor, keeping developers in the flow,
Right, less context switching. It really feels like AI is becoming a co-pilot for almost every step. Okay, let's go deeper. Infrastructure. Compute engine, what were the highlights?
Some big updates there, mostly around new families of virtual machines. They call them fourth-generation instances.
Okay, new VMs.
Yeah, names like C4D, C4H4D, M4, Z3. The key takeaway is they offer pretty serious performance bunks across different kinds of workloads. They're using the latest chips from AMD and Intel, plus Google's own Titanium system. Titanium's interesting. It's specialized hardware and software that offloads stuff like networking and security from the main CPU.
So the main chip can just focus on running my app?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Better performance, more efficiency. So chances are there's a new instance type that could be better or cheaper for what you're running.
Always good to have options. What about storage for these? Hyperdisk ML.
Yeah, Hyperdisk ML is their high-performance block storage. It got enhanced for ML data handling, better integration with GKE and Compute Engine.
GKE is Kubernetes engine.
Right. And crucially, faster data access for training and inference when you're using TPU VMs, Google's AI accelerators.
Yeah.
Trying to speed up those big ML workflows.
Makes sense. Getting data to the TPUs faster. And managing groups of VMs, managed instance groups, or MIGs. Any changes?
Yep, a useful new feature for MIGs. You can now set up a single MIG to use multiple different VM types within that group.
Oh, that's flexible.
Yeah. And they also improved how MIGs automatically find available capacity. Helps ensure you can scale up when you need to, even if resources are tight.
Good for reliability. Okay, shifting to the really heavy stuff, high-performance computing, HPC, there was a new VM type, H4D.
Yes, H4D. These are the newest, most powerful TPU machines, specifically optimized for ML inference. That's the part where you're using the trained model to make predictions.
Got it. So super fast predictions.
Exactly. The underlying system, codenamed Ironwood, is a huge jump from the previous gen, Trillium.
Yeah.
We're talking like 5 times the peak compute, 6 times the high bandwidth memory,
Wow.
and twice the power efficiency. It's a massive boost for those really demanding AI model serving tasks.
Impressive specs. Shows they're serious about AI infrastructure. Okay, let's touch on something vital for everyone. Security. There was a CSO bulletin and something called Google Unified Security.
That's right. The CISO bulletin focused on digital sovereignty. It's this idea of having control over your digital stuff, your data, your operations, your software.
Control like where data lives, how it's used.
It's exactly data sovereignty, operational sovereignty, software sovereignty. The bulletin talks about how GCP features help organizations achieve that control, which is super important with all the privacy regulations these days.
Definitely a hot topic. And Google Unified Security. What's the goal there?
It's about pulling everything together, a single security platform driven by AI, giving you one clear view across your network, devices, cloud services, applications, everything.
One dashboard to rule them all.
Kind of, yeah. It integrates Google's own security smarts, their cloud security services, plus threat intelligence from Mandiant. The aim is simpler security management, better threat visibility, stronger protection overall.
Unified view sounds way less complex than juggling separate tools. Okay, moving on to making sense of all that data. Data analytics.
Ugh.
BigQuery seemed to get a lot of Gemini love.
Oh yeah, big time. Lots of announcements about Gemini features in BigQuery becoming generally available, all aimed at making analytics faster and easier.
Like what specifically?
Things like simpler data preparation, often a huge time sink, right? Faster insights through quicker queries, coding assistance for data frames right in BigQuery.
Whoa, Python data frames in BigQuery. That's huge for data scientists.
Big win, yeah. Also help with accelerating migrations to BigQuery. The ability to analyze structured and unstructured data together. Unified governance, just lots of new analytics power.
Analyzing structured and unstructured data side by side sounds powerful. And you mentioned data prep specifically got a boost.
Yes, data preparation powered by Gemini is now generally available. These are like resources in BigQuery that use AI to suggest ways to clean, transform, and enrich your data.
Like an AI assistant for data cleaning.
Pretty much. You can really cut down the manual work. And the new enhancements connect it better with BigQuery pipelines.
So you can build end-to-end flows, from getting the data in to cleaning it with AI help all in one place.
Exactly. With incremental processing too, so you only process what's new. And it now generates code using the newer BigQuery pipe syntax and integrates with repositories for version control. Much smoother workflow.
Streamlining that whole data pipeline sounds great. Okay, where does the data live? Databases. AllyDB and Firestore had news.
They did. AllyDB, that's their managed Postgres-compatible database, got some really cool new generative AI features and stuff for agentic programming.
Agentic programming, like agents interacting with the database.
Yeah, things like letting Google Agent Space search structured data in AllyDB, a next-gen natural language querying feature for AllyDB.
Asking the database questions in plain English.
That's the idea. Also, better vector search using scan technology, good for finding similar items. New AI models inside AllyDB AI and this new AllyDB AI query engine. Lots of AI baked right in.
Natural language queries could really open up database access. What about Firestore, the NoSQL one, MongoDB compatibility?
Yes, this is in preview, but it's a big deal. Firestore now works with the MongoDB API, meaning you can use your existing MongoDB code, drivers, tools, but point them at Firestore. So you get Firestore serverless benefits, multi-region replication, strong consistency, massive scale, high availability, low latency.
Wow, so keep your MongoDB skills, but get Firestore's managed platform.
Exactly. Best of both worlds for many NoSQL users. And one more database thing. Database Migration Service, DMS, it now uses Gemini.
How does Gemini help with migrations?
It helps automate migrating SQL Server databases over to PostgreSQL, either Cloud SQL or AllyDB. It assists with converting the schema and the application code. Should make those tricky migrations much less manual work.
Anything that makes database migrations easier is good news. Okay, we've covered a ton. Let's talk about running apps at scale. Containers and Kubernetes GKE. Sounds like lots of updates for AI workloads.
Definitely a focus. Running big AI jobs on Kubernetes is becoming common, so GKE got several boosts. Cluster Director for GKE is GA now.
Cluster Director.
It basically makes it easier to set up and manage those really large GKE clusters you need for demanding AI tasks, orchestrating all that compute power.
Okay, simplifies building the big AI clusters. Then what about running the AI on them?
For that, there's GKE Inference Quick Start, now in public preview. It helps you figure out the right compute setup and prepare your models for GKE. with performance benchmarks to help you choose.
Take some guesswork out of deploying models and managing the traffic to those models. Inference Gateway.
Right, GKE Inference Gateway, also public preview. It's like a smart load balancer specifically for AI prediction services on GKE.
Yep.
Routes traffic intelligently, balances the load, helps lower costs, improves response times.
Optimizing the AI serving part. Any core GKE improvements.
GKE Autopilot, the fully managed version, got a new, more efficient underlying compute system, which they say will eventually come to standard GKE too.
More efficiency. Nice.
And Gemini Cloud Assist Investigations is coming in private preview. That uses AI to help diagnose and fix problems in your GKE clusters.
AI troubleshooting Kubernetes. Yes, please. That sounds useful. And GKE scale itself. They mentioned capacity.
Yeah, they highlighted the GKE now supports clusters up to 65,000 nodes. Huge scale.
65,000.
Yep. And they ran a performance test on a cluster that size, simulating AI training and inference to prove it can handle massive workloads.
That's serious scale.
Hmm.
Okay, last big area, networking. The foundation for everything. What's new for the AI era there?
Some key innovations announced at Next. For faster AI data movement, there's now 400G Cloud Interconnect and Cross-Cloud Interconnect.
400 gig. That's a lot more bandwidth for getting data into the cloud for training.
Exactly. And for securing that high-speed traffic, especially things like RDMA, which is used in distributed training,
For RDMA.
remote direct memory access, super fast network communication, they've added new zero-trust RDMA security, including an RDMA firewall.
Securing the fast lane? Makes sense. What about apps at the network edge?
You can now use service extensions with Cloud Load Balancing and soon Cloud CDN to customize how web, media, and AI apps behave closer to users. More control at the edge for better performance.
Okay. And simplifying global networks. Cloud WAN.
Yeah, Cloud WAN is a new fully managed global network service
Mm.
designed to make it easier and more secure to connect different parts of your organization wherever they are. A simpler way to build that global connectivity.
Wow. Okay, that was a lot. A really comprehensive sweep of Google Cloud Next 2025.
It really was. It's clear they're pushing hard on AI integration everywhere, from infrastructure right up to app dev and analytics, and just making the platform more powerful and hopefully easier to use.
Yeah, absolutely. We touched on AML with Vertex AI, Agent Space, Gemini, then app dev with Firebase Studio and the lifecycle tools.
New compute engine instances, hyperdisk, security updates, BigQuery getting smarter, AlloyDB and Firestore database news, GKE scaling for AI, and finally those networking upgrades. It's quite the list.
For sure. And hopefully for everyone listening, especially if you're newer to GCP or just trying to keep up, this deep dive gave you a good, clear overview of the stuff that might actually impact you.
Yeah, and like we said, definitely check out the links in the Technology Nuggets post if any specific area caught your eye. The big recap post, the dev keynote, the service, deep dives, tons more detail there.
Definitely. So maybe a final thought to leave folks with. Considering all this AI assistance, the powerful infra, the smarter data tools, what kind of things, what apps or solutions that maybe seemed too hard before might be within reach now on Google Cloud? Something to think about.
That's a great question. The possibilities are definitely expanding. Keep exploring, stay curious, and thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the latest from Google Cloud.